Welcome to Ynot on the PCT. Driving to the southern terminus. The weather today is not supposed to be so great. Like an inch of rain, snow a little bit higher. I'll walk into snow the next couple of days because there's supposed to be 3 to 5 inches of snow in Mount Laguna, which I'm going to get to on Monday. And after that's supposed to be nice, but right now, driving through the rain to the southern terminus. Border wall, we're approaching the terminus. It's not raining here, which is nice, so I get to start. We start in the dry. I don't know. And we'll be able to take a couple of pictures in the dry, so that's nice.
Yeah, equestrians always have the right of way. Bikers always have the right of way. And I already see you guys, so not going to be disrupting anybody else's experience.
Yeah. This is so completely different than last time, where I started in Ashland, but I started immediately into forest and just away from people, and this is just rural area, but there's roads right by, and this is desert and and rain. It's going to get poured on, but just kind of everything just feels different. Apparently 30 people have already left today, so I'm expecting I'm going to be passing people along the way, but yeah, I don't know what I think. Take a while to get into it, but it turns out that I have a while.
And here comes the rain.
And here comes the rain. This is my tent. This is the second day, but and I'm staying here all day because yesterday it was really rainy and cold, and I was frozen by the time I got here. So it was kind of raining and cold today. So I'm just hanging out, and then I'm going to go all the way into Mount Laguna tomorrow. There's a whole lot of, this is the PCT area, so there's tents all around, and a bunch of hikers. Much more social than a couple of years ago. We were playing cards for a while, and people are just lots of people are doing the same thing I am. Normally people stay here for one night, but lots of people are waiting because of the weather, so just kind of hanging out. I'm in my tent now, and it's hailing. Stopped from please slow down. Good morning. It's Monday morning. This is my third day, April 1st. I've been walking for about an hour. So far, basically everything is different than 2 years ago. I ended up taking an unexpected day off yesterday because of the weather. So now I'm going to do like 22 miles into Mount Laguna, where I have a hotel room, which is really nice because there's snow on the ground there, and it was 20 degrees this morning. At least this morning it's a lot of blue sky and beautiful walking weather. I've already hiked with more people than I ever did before. I ever did 2 years ago. I've camped with a whole lot of people. I've on my third day, and I haven't yet had to filter water because I've been in a campground. I've yet to have to do my business in the woods because there's a bathroom. It's like very, very different starting this way. But it's nice to be walking with some nice weather, and remember that it's really nice to walk and be able to actually look around and see things. It's the middle of the day. I'm walking up the trail. The trail's it's really nice. It's uphill all day, but pretty gentle, so not tough, and it's cool and not a lot of direct sun. It's just very nice. This is where I came from, just across that road. Nice day. Came from here, been hiking up a while. Kind of see out where I came from. It's really pretty. Not big trees like there are in Oregon and Washington, but still mountainous and rugged and pretty. It's nice. Talked for a while with the woman who lives in Alameda, where we used to live for a long time, and I already feel like I'm already hiking with and talking to more people in a few days than I did in a couple of months before. But it's nice to walk on my own some too. So far I like this balance where it's more time with people, but still a lot of time by myself. It's been clouding up and looking like it might rain, gets cold, and then it gets sunny, so not sure what's going to happen, but it's been a pretty nice day. I know that by the time I get to Mount Laguna, I'm in pine trees, so must be a fair amount farther to go up in the next like 8 miles that I have to get to Mount Laguna. Hello. It's Tuesday morning, April 2nd. So, and here it's just a beautiful day. I'm walking along this ridge. It's pretty much mostly all downhill today, slowly going down from Mount Laguna. Way out there in the distance, you can see all the way down to probably almost to the Pacific or to San Diego or something, but very pretty up here, especially when you can see things. It's been a amusing couple of days. 2 days ago, or yesterday morning, when I packed up at the campground, I thought I had lost my chair, which was on the outside of my backpack. Couldn't find it in any place. Was totally frustrated at losing it before I ever used it. And then when I had a great hike all day. I get just before Mount Laguna. I take my pack off for just a minute, and there's only one shoe there because I have these two Croc-like shoes. They're Birkenstocks. They're pretty cool. And I'd used them for a river crossing yesterday, and it was awesome because I kept my shoes dry, and it was really nice. But there was only one shoe there, and so I thought I'd lost my shoe someplace because I didn't like the way that I had them attached. It felt kind of janky, and I'd already been thinking I need to get a carabiner and find a more solid way of holding them on. But so at that point I thought, I was like 3 days in, and I'd already lost both of the extra things that I'm taking this year, neither of which are cheap, and totally frustrated. But I get to, I stayed in a little lodge in Mount Laguna, and when I unpacked all my stuff, because I wanted to just be able to dry out my tent and wash clothes and stuff, the chair was all the way down at the bottom of the pack. I must have put it all the way down there, and it's a black, yeah, it's a little black thing, so it's easy to not see. And I just put my my sleeping bag on top of it and hadn't realized it, so I had my chair again. And then I went out to breakfast this morning to this great French restaurant here in Mount Laguna, and checked a couple of places to see if somebody might have happened to see my shoe, but didn't find it. So I'm hiking out, and you go just like a quarter of a mile on the road, and there's this tiny little spur trail where you can get back onto the PCT. I get at the end of the spur trail, there's a bush there, and my other shoe was hanging on the bush. Somebody had found it and had left it there in a totally conspicuous spot for me to find. So now I haven't lost anything. So that was kind of amusing. So I just came around the bend here, and up ahead there are, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here. There are mountains with a whole lot of snow. I bet that is San Jacinto, where I will get to next week. And probably there's a section of that where right now it's like you need crampons and ice axe and really mountaineering experience, which I don't have, so I'll be walking around that. But that's pretty. Just a quick panorama here. This is just a few feet off the trail, looking east there down to the desert, out to probably what's I think is Mount San Jacinto that I showed before, and the other way is mountains, although if you go just around here you can look down almost to the, probably you can see as far as the coast if it was perfectly clear, but very nice up here. The trail here goes kind of along the edge of this ridge, which goes down into this gully. But out in the distance, you can see the desert kind of forever, mountains. It's really spectacular in a lot of ways. It's like other spectacular parts of the PCT, except you have all the mountains with no trees on them. So it's just kind of like a naked version of some of the spectacular sections of the PCT farther north. Let's see, let's come out to the edge here. I just have to do one more quick video of where I'm walking through, because this is just so amazing. Came from there, and you're just looking out. You can see so far. It's really nice. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. I've just been walking like half an hour, and I don't know if you can see, but on the top of this little hill, let me zoom a little bit, there's some little tiny kind of bush with a crow sitting on top of it, walking away. That's kind of cool. I came from here. It was cold last night. There was frost all over my tent, and the water bottle I left outside was at least had ice in it. It wasn't completely frozen, but it had ice in it. You have to worry about the water pump or the water filter, because if it freezes, it doesn't work. But I had it inside the tent, and it's in my backpack right next to this little recording thermometer thing that I have, this little tiny red thing that records the temperature every hour and connects by Bluetooth to my phone. So I looked and I saw that it only got down to like 41 inside the sleeping bag, or inside the tent. So I didn't really think that this super lightweight tent really made it much warmer, but apparently it does some. So don't have to worry about that. So it's cold, but as soon as the sun came up, I came over the ridge. I was much warmer, but I was cold as I was getting things together this morning. Looks like a beautiful day. It's just a really nice day so far to be hiking. You might get supposed to get a little warmer today, so I might actually feel warm midday. We'll see. Hello. It's a little bit afternoon. Been walking mostly down and down and down to where there's now some cactus around. I was talking with a 71-year-old ex-Marine who's training for a 52-mile ultra race in Argentina. About all kinds of wild stories, but I haven't taken any pictures because I was talking to him. But we've got down a lot, so it's getting much more deserty and getting hot after having ice in my water bottle this morning. It's getting definitely warm. It's supposed to be 80 degrees down where we crossed the road, which I think is that road, but it's which you might be able to see, although it's still like 6.5 miles away, and that's not 6.5 miles, so I don't know if we wind around to it or what. But it's been, and I have enough water, but I'm being careful with my water because all of a sudden there's like very, very few places to get water. So I guess that's about all there is right now. Hello, it's Thursday. Wanted to film a little bit before the beautiful light goes away. I just started hiking maybe 5-10 minutes ago down at that road there. So I came in yesterday from there and in the heat. It's like 85 degrees or so. And I'd been hiking with these locals most of the day who suggested this RV park that's about 4.5 miles down the road towards the end of the, can't quite see it, it's towards the end of the valley there. So I went down there, got this tiny little cabin that I didn't take a picture of, shit. But stayed at a tiny little like bunk there, which at least was inside, which is nice. Got a shower, and today wanted to get going really early because the weather is supposed to turn bad, and there's supposed to actually possibly be snow by tonight. So I want to be able to go like 24 miles so that I can get. So I'm not up on this ridge tonight. So I got up real early and got going. Wasn't sure how I was going to do the 4.5 miles. Tried to call an Uber, but wasn't able to find a driver. So I started to walk, and I'd only walked about 50 yards or something when a car came out of the RV park and turned the way I was going. And so I put out my thumb to hitch, and they stopped, and it was actually a trail angel taking another hiker someplace, and I got in, so it was kind of a perfect experience, and that it took basically zero time, brought me here, chatted with her. She's I'll probably pass her sometime today because she's doing some, like a one-day hike in here to do some of the trail, and then wait outside because of the storm, or wait inside because of the storm. So anyway, I'm starting at about 7 a.m. and trying to do a long day while it's still beautiful. Another quick 4 a.m. I'm up a little higher now. It's just, this light is so pretty. All kinds of different cactus. It's very, very pretty when it's not hot. It's about 6:45 in the morning, and peeking outside the tent, it's just started to snow. It was raining on and off through the night. I think it was even really raining an hour ago. I think it's just in the last few minutes it started to turn to snow. Hello. It's Saturday morning, or Friday morning. I I am now walking through the snow. It's been kind of snowing off and on. Last night was windy for a long time and mostly rainy, but like 6 a.m. or so, and I actually slept fairly well, but like 6 a.m. or so, there was some snow. I peeked, which I can't really tell, except I peeked out the tent there because it's gotten quieter, and you can kind of see the snow flakes, because they're big wet flakes settling on the tent. And from then it's kind of been some snow, some rain, some hail. It's basically typical spring in Steamboat Springs. Not quite as typical here, but not super unusual either. So I stayed in the tent for quite a while, but then got up and got all packed up and got going. The first night in the rain is not that bad, but now it's like my tent is all packed up, but it's all wet and kind of dirty and stuff. So if I had to sleep in there again tonight, it would be kind of yucky, especially if I didn't have time to, didn't have an opportunity to dry it all out. But Carrie's picking me up, and so I'll be able to get everything dry again before I go. I have all my clothes on, which is actually a little too much. I'm a little warm on top, but I'm not going to change anything until the snow stops. And I brought a couple of pairs of hand warmers that we had for skiing, and I opened one of them up this morning, and that helped a lot because my hands get really cold. My hands were just numb after getting all packed up, or at least my fingers were, but they've warmed up again. It's starting to get colder now, so I'm gonna stop and just suck and warm up this hand again. But I have like 9 miles to walk today, and then Carrie's gonna pick me up. And from when I started, actually, I'll get there maybe an hour before she does or something. So not too bad. And the walking in this is not too bad. It's not, the snow's actually nicer than the heavy rain the first day, because that just, you end up getting just all wet, where this is lighter and the snow tends to just fall off and not get me as wet. And as long as I'm not wet, I can stay warm. So this is supposed to be, storm goes on for another day or so, but I'll be with Carrie going to the eclipse, and by the time I get back, there's no weather forecast for a while. So I think, even though I'm watching the snow now, what I'm going to be worried about when I get back, I'm going to be thinking much more about the heat than the cold, but maybe not, who knows. It'll all work out.